Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do some example friction problems. That way you have a better idea how to solve these. Okay, so our first problem that we're going through here, this is going to be a block that has an external force applied to it. And we need to actually resolve this and figure out what this force is to be able to push. We've got a 50-kilogram block resting on a 20-degree inclined plane, and we want to figure out what that maximum force P to push on the corner of the block is going to be before it starts to slide. Our coefficient of friction is 0.4, okay? And you'll notice that in my picture here that I have the impending motion is noted. It's going up the ramp, okay? You can see this going up the ramp because that's the where how I want it to move. The W is going straight down, and it always goes straight down. And the axis system is going to be set up according to the friction and the angle that's there, okay? All right, so according to this axis system, I have two forces, W and P, that will need to be resolved. So that's going to be the first thing that I do. Okay, if you take a look at my P here, my P force is going horizontally, but then when I resolve it according to the axis system that I want to use, here's my vertical force, and here's my horizontal force. Okay, my horizontal force is going to be cosine of the angle 20 times P, and if I reduce that down, it'll be 0.342P. My PY is going to be sine of the angle 20 times P, and that's 0.94P. Okay, now looking at my W, I can resolve that force into vertical and horizontal components. The vertical and horizontal components are according to the axis system for the friction force. Okay, it's going to be normal to that angle. So my WX, and you can see that both here, the WX and the WY, I take that 50 and I multiply them each by 9.8. And that's the reason for that is because I have to take the mass and convert that to a weight. So I've got my 50 times 9.8, that's going to convert it to a weight. And for my WX, it's going to be sine of the 20. And then I do the math, and I have 167.6. And then for my WY, I do the conversion again between mass to force. And then I multiply that by the cosine 20, and I get my 460.45. Okay. Now my friction force, I got to remember, is mu s times n. So I got 0.4 times n. Okay. Knowing all that, I go ahead and construct my free body diagram, and you can see this is what I have. I've got all my forces labeled. I got my two P forces going to the corner of the block, my two weight forces going to the center of the block, the normal force that's going straight up normal to the angle, and then the friction force which is acting along the angle of that incline. Okay? From my free body diagram, I'm going to be able to create my equilibrium equations. Okay? So my equilibrium equations are as follows. Okay, I take all of my forces in the x, and if I can go back, okay, all my forces in the x, which are going to be the 0.342, the 167, and then the friction. Okay, and you can see I've accounted for those here. And then the y forces are going to be the 9,4, I'll go back again, the 9,4p, and then the 460, and then the n. So there's my equilibrium equations. Okay, and I've gone ahead and simplified them a little bit here. And I'm going to rewrite those so we can use our MATLAB programs to solve, or we can use simultaneous equations with our math to solve those. Okay, so we have the 0.324p plus the negative 0.4n in the x direction equals 166.7. And in the y direction, we got 0.94p plus n equals 460.45. Now, if I go ahead and set this up in my MATLAB programs to solve simultaneous equations, or I can use the simultaneous equations by hand to solve those, this is what I get for my p and my n. Okay. Now, we really don't need the n. The question's not asking for it. The question's asking for the p, so this is the answer that we really want. Okay? All right. Now, the second problem that we're going to look at is a friction problem with the block sitting on the ramp, and it's just sitting there. There's no external forces acting on it, and we want to see if it's going to be stationary or sliding. So here's what we have for the picture. Okay, the same 50 kilogram block on the same 20-degree angled surface, and my coefficient of friction is 0.4 again. Is it going to be stationary or sliding? Now the first step here is we just need to make sure we note down that the friction force is going to act up the ramp because the impending motion is acting down. The normal force is also perpendicular to the inclined surface. And then the W is the only one that has to be resolved. Okay, now we did this in the previous example problem, so I just recopied those numbers down. The WX is going to be going down this time, okay? 50 times 9.8. Again, I'm going ahead and take the mass and turn that into a weight times my sine of 20, and I get my 167.6. And then for my Y, I go ahead and take my mass, convert that to a weight by multiplying it by 9.8, and then times cosine 20, and it gives me 460.45. Okay, my friction force is noted as mu s times n, okay? And here's my free body diagram, okay? Now, if you take a look at this, I only have two forces acting in the y direction. So that 460.45 is basically equal and opposite to the n. So that's going to be the value that I'm going to use for my n, okay? What I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to calculate WX and WF, and I'm going to compare them. That's it. WX is already calculated, so that's 167.6. My F value, I'll go ahead and calculate that mu times N, and just like I said, it's going to be equal to WY. I calculate that out, and it is 184.2. Now I'm going to compare those numbers. When the WX is greater than F, it's going to be moving, and if the friction is greater than WX, it's going to be stationary. And in our case, our friction force is greater than the WX, so we're going to basically say that it is stationary. Okay? The last example problem that we have is something called a slipper tip problem. We have a bookcase that weighs about 40 pounds. It's 72 inches tall. It has a center of gravity half of its height, which is 36 inches. It's 30 inches wide, and we're going to assume that a person just puts her arms out to the side and puts it on the side of the bookcase, and it's pushing it, trying to move it about 48 inches off of the floor. And the coefficient of friction is 0.25. What's the force that's going to cause it to slip? What's the force that's going to cause it to tip? And which is going to happen first? Okay, now there's a lot of words and a lot of numbers in this little problem here. So the best thing to do is to draw a picture and have all those numbers on the diagram. And that's what I have here. So you can see that the rectangle is basically the bookcase. And I've got the weight going straight down, that's 40 pounds. It's 30 inches wide. The height of the bookcase is 72 inches wide. We don't really need that for this problem. What we do need is to know how much the push force is. This is the push force, and it is occurring 48 inches off the ground. And then we have a friction that's acting against the push force, and that friction force is mu times n. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be calculating each of those forces. The formula for the push force is friction, the coefficient of friction times n. Okay, and we go ahead and point that out, the 0.25, the n, and in this case, if we go back to the diagram, the n is equal to the normal force, which is basically equal and opposite to the weight, which is 40 pounds. So that's where I get that number from. 0.25 times 40 ends up being 10 pounds. Now we have to find use a different equation to find the tipping force. That equation is here. The base dimension divided by 2 times the push height, that quantity times the weight of the object. And if we go ahead and substitute those numbers in, we get a number of 12.5. Okay, now we're going to compare those two, and basically whichever one is the lowest one is going to happen first. If you think about it, I'm going to push on the side of that bookcase, and I'm going to apply 10 pounds before I actually apply 12 pounds, and that's going to basically cause it to slip before it tips. So that's how I'm going to make that determination. Okay? I hope that helps you. Again, feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to make sure you understand. Thanks.